Hello there. Welcome to Cineplot Recap. Today we're going to go through the movie The Big Short. The movie, directed by Adam McKay and released in 2015, is a sharp and dynamic examination of the 2008 financial crisis, told through the perspectives of a few key outsiders who saw it coming. Based on Michael Lewis's book of the same name, the film uses humor, fourth-wall-breaking explanations, and a fast-paced narrative to dissect the complexities of the housing market collapse. Please sit back, relax, and let us walk you through the movie The Big Short. The film begins with Jared Vennett, played by Ryan Gosling, narrating the story of how the housing market, once considered the bedrock of the American economy, became a ticking time bomb. Vennett explains the concept of mortgage-backed securities, MBS, and how Wall Street banks transform home loans into complex financial products. The stability of these securities depended on homeowners paying their mortgages. However, banks began issuing subprime loans, high-risk loans given to individuals with poor credit to generate more profit. This greed-driven practice laid the groundwork for the eventual collapse. Vennett's narration sets the tone for the film, irreverent, fast-paced, and deeply critical of Wall Street. The opening scenes juxtapose the perceived stability of the housing market with the reckless behavior of financial institutions, creating a sense of dramatic irony. Dr. Michael Burry, played by Christian Bale, a socially awkward but highly intelligent hedge fund manager, is introduced. Burry spends long hours analyzing mortgage loan data, meticulously examining thousands of individual mortgages bundled into securities. Through his research, he discovers that many subprime loans have adjustable interest rates that will reset in the coming years, causing a massive wave of defaults. Burry realizes that the housing market is on the brink of collapse. In a pivotal scene, Burry pitches his idea to short the housing market to major investment banks. He negotiates credit default swaps, CDS, financial instruments that will pay out if the housing market crashes. The bankers, confident in the market stability, eagerly agree to his terms, viewing him as eccentric and naive. Meanwhile, Burry's investors grow increasingly frustrated, accusing him of risking their money on what seems like a bizarre and losing bet. Despite the backlash, Burry remains resolute, trusting his data. Jared Vennett, a slick and self-assured Deutsche Bank trader, learns about Burry's bet and recognizes its potential. Using a Jenga tower as a visual aid, he explains to the audience and prospective clients how the housing bubble is precariously built on subprime loans. His pitch is accidentally directed to Mark Baum, played by Steve Carell, the head of Front Point Partners, a small hedge fund. Mark Baum is portrayed as a deeply cynical man haunted by personal tragedy. He and his team, including Danny Moses, played by Rafe Spall, Vinny Daniel, played by Jeremy Strong, and Porter Collins, played by Hamish Linklater, are skeptical of Vennett's proposal but decide to investigate. Vennett accompanies them on a trip to Florida, where they encounter alarming evidence of systemic corruption. They meet mortgage brokers who boast about giving loans to anyone, including individuals with no income or credit. The brokers' nonchalant attitude underscores the recklessness fueling the crisis. The team also visits neighborhoods filled with empty, foreclosed homes, exposing the hollow foundation of the housing market. As Baum's team delves deeper, they uncover the complicity of rating agencies like Standard & Poor's and Moody's. These agencies, incentivized by fees from banks, assign AAA ratings to toxic mortgage-backed securities. In one scene, Baum confronts a Standard & Poor's representative who candidly admits that the agency prioritizes business relationships over accuracy. Baum's growing frustration is palpable as he begins to understand the enormity of the fraud. His moral outrage drives him to bet against the market, seeing it as both a financial opportunity and a protest against Wall Street's greed. However, his cynicism deepens as he realizes the human cost of the crisis. Charlie Geller, played by John Magaro, and Jamie Shipley, played by Finn Wittrock, two ambitious young investors, stumble upon a financial presentation that mentions credit default swaps. Recognizing the opportunity, they seek the guidance of Ben Rickert, Brad Pitt, a retired banker turned recluse. Rickert, who is disillusioned with Wall Street, agrees to help them navigate the complex world of finance. In one notable scene, Rickert facilitates a meeting with a banker who confirms the proliferation of synthetic CDOs, instruments that magnify risk by allowing multiple bets on the same underlying assets. Geller and Shipley, initially excited about their potential profits, are sobered by Rickert's reminder that their success hinges on economic devastation for millions of people. The film uses inventive methods to demystify complex financial jargon. Margot Robbie appears in a bubble bath to explain subprime mortgages, making the concept accessible and engaging. Chef Anthony Bourdain uses a cooking analogy to illustrate how bad loans are repackaged into collateralized debt obligations, CDOs, likening it to making fish stew from unsold seafood. Selena Gomez and economist Richard Thaler explain synthetic CDOs through a gambling metaphor at a blackjack table, highlighting how these products exponentially increase systemic risk. These sequences break the fourth wall, combining humor and education to ensure the audience grasps the intricacies of the financial system. As predicted, the housing market begins to crumble in 2007. Homeowners default on their mortgages en masse, triggering a cascade of failures throughout the financial system. Scenes show families being evicted, neighborhoods filled with foreclosure signs, and rising panic among bankers. Burry's fund, initially ridiculed, starts generating massive returns as the market collapses. Mark Baum and his team witness the crisis unfold. In one emotional scene, Baum interviews a Florida stripper who reveals she owns multiple properties financed with adjustable-rate mortgages. Her predicament underscores the predatory practices that targeted vulnerable individuals. As Baum's team profits from their bets, their victory feels hollow. They grapple with the ethical implications of benefiting from a disaster that devastates countless lives. Baum attends a financial conference where a panel of bankers dismiss concerns about the market. In a fiery monologue, Baum denounces the industry's greed and irresponsibility, accusing them of destroying the economy for personal gain. Geller and Shipley celebrate their financial success, but are chastised by Rickert, who reminds them of the human suffering caused by the collapse. Meanwhile, Burry informs his investors of their substantial returns, but expresses no joy, choosing to retire from finance. The film's epilogue highlights the catastrophic consequences of the crisis. Millions of Americans lose their homes, jobs, and savings. Major financial institutions receive government bailouts, while only a few individuals face legal consequences. A title card ominously notes that the same risky practices that led to the 2008 collapse have resurfaced, suggesting the potential for future crises. Baum, Burry, and the other protagonists reflect on their actions, grappling with the moral ambiguity of profiting from a disaster. Their stories serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked greed and systemic corruption. The Big Short concludes with a sobering message about the fragility of the financial system and the cost of ignoring its flaws. By blending humor, drama, and education, the film delivers a powerful critique of Wall Street, leaving audiences entertained, informed, and deeply unsettled. Each meticulously crafted scene contributes to a vivid and comprehensive portrayal of one of the most significant economic disasters in modern history. Thank you for watching Cineplot Recap. Please like, subscribe, and click on the notification icon for more movie recap. See you on the next video.